Are you guys seeing this major market shift that I'm seeing here? I am talking about altcoins actually breaking out since Bitcoin has broken out of its all time highs. I'm seeing Bitcoin dominance actually falling, and that is actually very good, especially when after Bitcoin starts its bull cycle, which, in my opinion, it very much did. That after it broke out of that 110K level with the clean breakout. We've been talking about this for weeks and weeks, okay? Has finally happened. We're going to be talking about what this weekend could be in store for the altcoins. I think there's going to be some major altcoin moves that could be happening this weekend. I have actually purchased more altcoins since this morning, okay? But that is just me, not financial advice. Everything I'm saying here is just my opinions and speculations. And you should do your own due diligence because, you know, I've seen things go wrong. And throughout my 5+ years of trading, a lot of shit could go wrong. So do your own due diligence. Now, let's take a look into what could be happening in this market. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about some altcoins later in this video as well. I know you guys are here for the altcoins because those are more fun markets with more volatility and, of course, more risk. But during bull cycles, I think it's more likely that there are going to be more opportunities in those altcoin markets. I'm going to be talking about Freysa AI, which is FAI, Dogelon, Mars, which is with the symbol ELON, and then we're also going to be talking about Cow Protocol, Cow USD or USDT. See what's going on in these markets, some of these smaller markets, of course, riskier markets as well, and see what kind of setups or price targets there are in those altcoins later in this video, usually after the 10-minute mark. So if you guys want to skip ahead, you could, but I highly don't recommend it because Bitcoin, even though it is losing its dominance, when Bitcoin still drops, pulls back, more significantly, that will still affect the altcoins. Now let's go. Let's get into some crypto news first, right? Because that's important. And I know that you guys are interested in the news as well because there are some macro news that could affect the markets. Let's take a look into what's going on here. This is by News BTC. Will Bitcoin impede or support altcoin rally? On-chain data signals market uncertainty. Okay, so I kind of know where this is coming from. This headline is coming from. There are some mixed signals, especially when the monthly candle is coming to a close. Still about 10, 12 days here. I think we have the 31st here in July. Correct me if I'm wrong. But there are some mixed signals, especially on the monthly time frame. There could be bearish divergence again on the monthly time frame for Bitcoin, for the stock market, which is S&P 500. And why is that important? Because bearish divergence usually indicates a pullback. However, there has been exceptions. Uh, the last exception was back in December 2020 when we had a huge breakout in the start of the last bull cycle. The one before that was in October 2017, where it was also a major uh, bullish move before a blow off top there. Okay, so could this be an exception? Nothing is 100%, but I think you still have to keep in mind of the signals that could be, telling you, certain things, right? Uh, at least that way you won't be blindsided when that happens. I always gauge my risk, right? What are the downside risks? What are the upside opportunities? Next piece here is by Cointelegraph. Spot Bitcoin ETFs gains 363 million, extend 12-day inflow streak to $6.6 billion. That definitely sounds bullish. I don't really look at the spot ETF data because at the end of the day, I think what happens on the charts, it's what most matters. But if you guys want to take a look into these news articles, I am pulling them from TradingView. I have an affiliate link in the description section below. If you sign up using my link, I will get a commission, and you guys are supporting my channel. Thank you very much. Next piece here is also by Cointelegraph. Charles Schwab plans to launch Bitcoin, Ether, spot trading, CEO says. So yeah, that definitely sounds good for the crypto markets, as you know, Charles Schwab is a little bit of a, I mean, in my opinion, a kind of an old school broker, right? And even these older brokers are coming onto the market. I think that's definitely gonna bring crypto into a even more mainstream spotlight here. Next one here is also by Cointelegraph. How to use Google Gemini to turn crypto news into trade signals. Now, I haven't really tried this before because, I mean, I don't really look at crypto news for signals. I mean, there's some macro things I do pay attention to, like the Fed, trading, search interests, right, on Google Trends. But I don't really, I mean, honestly, I don't really use Google Gemini. I think I don't like using it. I think there are other, more effective AI chatbots like, I mean, ChatGPT is one of them. But I have also started using Grok on Twitter lately, and it's been a lot easier um and effective, and in my opinion, so far more accurate. So if you guys have used Google Gemini for crypto news and trade signals, share with us your insights on how it has been for you. All right, next piece here is by Crypto Potato. Crypto markets shed $100 billion as Bitcoin was rejected at 120K. Weekend watch. Yeah, it's very important to be still paying attention to the Bitcoin chart. I've been saying that Bitcoin is the driver of this market, especially during consolidation periods, which we have gotten out of like a week ago, a week or two ago. But still, these Bitcoin dumps, they could still affect the altcoins, even though the smaller pullbacks may not affect the altcoins as much, or if at all, right? But still very important to be paying attention to Bitcoin. I am long on Bitcoin. I am long on quite a bit of these altcoins. So my opinion right now is still very bullish on this market, and I'll tell you guys when I change my opinion, and I'll tell you guys why, right? So let's come over here to Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin has bounced back since yesterday. Okay, I talked about the hourly 200 SMA and the 12-hour 21 SMA, which is currently the blue line here, currently at about 117.7K there. Okay, we still have a higher low trajectory, higher or equal low trajectory since this pullback here to about 117K. This is the 12-hour time frame. Very important to continue seeing higher highs and higher lows on certain time frames, like the higher time frames, because that tells you we're still in a uptrend trajectory, right? Now we are at a support level, 12-hour 21 SMA. Let's see if this actually holds. I have opened some altcoin positions based on this idea that we're at a support, but that is just me, right? Let's see if this can actually, if Bitcoin actually breaks 123K here. That's going to be very good for the altcoins as well if it pumps. And when Bitcoin has more room to go, so will the altcoins. I am taking a look into this weekly time frame here, which is the cup and handle pattern we have actually broken out of, which is a big deal. Price target here, still 145K. Now, price targets are estimates only. There could be more, there could be less, right? Very much depends on the type of market that we're in, and I think we're still in a very bullish market because we just basically kick-started this bullish cycle. All right, let's go ahead and go to Bitcoin dominance real quick, just to show you guys why this is starting to become a more important charts, because first of all, after Bitcoin breaks out of its all-time highs, the focus is going to be shifting to, at least for me, it's going to be shifting to the altcoins, right? Because that's where there's going to be more opportunities, more volatility, and I like that a lot more than just trading Bitcoin. Okay, and what I'm seeing here is a double top on this RSI here, or bearish divergence on this RSI here. It got rejected from this rising wedge pattern, and when Bitcoin dominance falls, that's good for the altcoins. Okay, especially after Bitcoin starts its bull cycle. So I am seeing a lower low here now, okay, on this weekly time frame, which is a big deal. That tells me that Bitcoin dominance is going to be on a downtrend trajectory. Okay, let's take a look into total 3, which is also a very important chart now that Bitcoin has solidified its breakout here. Okay, I've talked about this cup and handle pattern that total 3 has actually broken out of. This is overall altcoin markets, excluding Ethereum, broke out of this cup and handle pattern here just about a couple of days ago. Price target here is going to be, first of all, $1.17 trillion. Okay, and the next target I'll be looking at here will be about, well, actually $1.17 trillion. That's going to give you resistance at about that level, because that was the previous high from 2024. Okay, so something to be paying attention to, because this will give me some guidance on what the overall altcoins are doing. Okay, let's take a look into Freysa AI, which is FAI, and see what's going on in this market. Now, these are some smaller altcoins that are riskier. Okay, something to be paying attention to and to consider, because these could go down pretty quickly as well as it could go up. Let's take a look into what's happening with FAI. So this has actually just broken out of a falling wedge pattern that's more noticeable on a smaller time frame, the 6-hour time frame here. Falling wedges are a very common pattern that you should pay attention to, probably the most common pattern, and if not the most effective as well. It's very simple and effective, okay? Uh, why is that? It's because after an extended downtrend on that time frame, it tells you that it usually breaks back to the upside. Okay, in this case, it did not too long ago. The breakout point here was about 2 cents, and the price target for this breakout would be about 3.4 cents price targets. Like I said, price targets are estimates only. There could be more, there could be less. Got to take into consideration of all types of scenarios that could happen, right? Will it break through its price target? Will it come short of its price target and break back into the pattern and invalidate that breakouts, right? So those are some scenarios to be paying attention to if you guys are really serious about trading and risk managing. Let's take a look into so that's basically what I'm seeing for FAI on a shorter time frame. If we actually zoom out here for FAI, you guys can see that this is still on a higher low trajectory on the weekly time frame. Okay, and why are higher lows important? Because that's basically a uptrend trajectory. If it actually works its way all the way back up here to about 9.7 cents, which was the previous resistance. This is a very long shot here, but if it actually does, it could form some type of a cup and handle pattern, which is still bullish. And even though it's a pretty long shot and a very hypothetical scenario right now, it's very important to be paying attention to what it does if you guys have a position in this market. All right, let's go ahead and move on to ELON, which is Dogelon, Mars. See what's going on in this market here. This is the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, there is a double bottom pattern, which is also a very easy to spot pattern here, and also very effective. This is a double bottom with bullish divergence, which basically is you have an equal or lower low on the price action chart, but you have an equal or higher low on the RSI. Also, very effective indicator that tells you a reversal is usually going to happen. Okay, so inside within this double bottom pattern here, okay, the price target, if Elon is actually able to break out of here, is going to be a bunch of zeros and 276. Okay, as you guys can see. Let's take a look into a smaller time frame. Okay, smaller time frame here. Falling wedge pattern. Price target, since it broke out of here, price target would be it's a bunch of zeros and about 16 there. Okay, as you guys can see. So that's basically what I'm seeing. Could Elon actually make it to this price target and continue towards that bigger double bottom price target? We will see. One of the things I would do is, if the price target is met and if it consolidates at that price level, I would chart the consolidation pattern and see if I can get any more clues on if the price action will continue going or will it be pulling back from there. Now, also important to be paying attention to moving averages, because when moving averages are above the price action, it is resistance, and when it is below the price action, it is support. Just like you guys are seeing the daily 50 SMA right now, which is the white line, it's currently support, okay? Daily 200, the orange line is going to be resistance, pretty in line with the price targets. Let's move on to the next coin here, which is Cow Protocol. What are we seeing here from Cow Protocol? This is COW USDT. Let's just zoom out real quick, where I am still seeing an uptrend trajectory here. On the weekly time frame, rounded bottom still, okay? And let's take a look into what this could be happening on a lower time frame. On a lower time frame, okay, this could be a cup and handle pattern with the resistance to be about 50 cents, okay? Now, this is still a hypothetical scenario because I'm looking for at least one more touch back to the resistance here to the 50-cent level to call this a cup and handle pattern, right? That's just my opinion, because otherwise we don't really have that little handle to the cup. Now, if it actually forms and breaks out of this pattern, the price target would be about 75 cents price target. And that's basically what I'm seeing for Cow Protocol in the short term. Now, if you guys want to continue seeing any more of these coins, and if you guys want my updates on these coins or any other coins, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll let you guys know any new videos are coming up, and I'll see you guys on the next one.